Welcome back. Do me a favor, hit that like button as you're coming in. How are you doing? Welcome back. So this weekend I'm gonna be pretty busy. We have a lot going on. I have to squeeze in a lot of other things that is generally never really be in my. That's typically not in my schedule. I have to squeeze in family, stuff. Some of you I might. Hopefully, I'll meet some of you tomorrow, but definitely hanging out with Natu tomorrow with the Pastor K and Pastor M. But I wanted to come here and talk about and catch up on Love and Marriage Huntsville. We've done quite a few reviews and reaction here in the past. If you're not familiar with it, it's a show on the OWN network about love and marriage. It's supposed to be about love and marriage, but I think it's still about love and marriage. So, I'm going to be reacting to a couple of videos today. I just want to catch up alongside with you. And just I want to know in the comments what you think, or during the premiere, let me know in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts are. There's an American JUDY Austin. The stories are the same all around the world. It might look different on the surface because of cultural differences, language differences, traditional differences. But ultimately, we're all human beings, and we're social beings, we're emotional beings, and these issues are the same across the board. So if you really want to learn the skill set of relationships, just learn it, just learn it once and for all, get it over with, and stop complaining that the whole world is against you. For the most part, that's the case. There are some unfortunate situations where you couldn't have really controlled anything. Very, very few, minority. For the most part, a lot of the issues that people go through in relationships are avoidable. But we are coconut heads. We know they listen, right? So, but yes, we're gonna react to a couple of videos here. I want to show you that there is JUDY Austin in every culture. Okay, so in this case, there's a JUDY Austin in Martell and Melody's relationship. The first video I want to play is this video right here, and I think this is Melody overreacting, had a social media meltdown, and I'm just gonna go ahead and play that for you. Okay, let's go.
Listen, first of all, ain't nothing bad bodied over here. Let's be clear. Come with something deeper than that. Like, come with something better than that. That's the first thing lames want to throw out is about somebody's body or about somebody's hair. All that surface. Come with something deeper. Let's talk about your morals or lack thereof. Let's talk about your integrity or lack thereof. Let's talk about that. Okay.
So I'm just catching up as I'm watching with you. I'm guessing right now that she's talking to what I consider an American JUDY Austin. Okay. Listen, I understand the situation where you find yourself caught up in a love triangle, a third wheel, in an existing marriage. It was supposed to be over, but it was never over. You found out that it was really never over. Somebody gave you a different impression. Shout out to Stella Damasos. They gave you a different impression. Then you found out that, well, it wasn't exactly as over as you thought it was. You find yourself in a drama that's not even supposed to be yours, right? It happens, right? But when you find yourself in that situation and then you want to drag it and then you want to act like you're in your right? I'm not talking about Melody now. The lady you're looking at, her name is Melody, and she's married to this guy in pink. This guy in pink that's sitting there. So Melody is the one in blue, right in the center. Okay, the guy in pink, his name is Martell. They were married. Okay, they're no longer married, and the guy was in an affair. He never denied it. I don't think he was in an affair with another lady. Her name, Arion something. Let me see if I can find it. It should come right up. Let's see it. Arion Curry. There you go. Arion Curry. Arion Curry actually looks like she has 70,000 of her own monitoring spirit these days. Oh, I found it. This is easy. Anyway, this is Arian Curry right here. Okay, that's her in the stripes. That's her right there. Oh, wait. Am I sharing it? Let me make sure I'm sharing it. There you go. Let me just bring this full screen really quickly so we can see it a little bit more easier. All right, that's Arian Curry right there. That's her, and that's the son that she, after about 5 years of being in a extramarital affair with Martell, she had a baby. Okay, and that's her, right? So from the stories that I'm just collecting, as I'm going with you right now, I'm collecting some of the details. This is sounding like Judy Austin. So you find yourself in a situation as a third wheel or as a side chick or something like that, and then you're dragging the issue like you have rights. Okay, this is interesting. These are some of the behaviors that you find out there by some of the people that you might consider normal people. But when they find themselves caught up in emotions, they're willing to do everything that's wrong just to feel right for another second, another second, right? That's not justifying bad behavior. I'm telling you, people will perform in bad behavior. See, I just called it bad behavior, even when it's wrong outrightly, right? But if it feels right, if they feel like defending themselves, they will do it. Okay? Human beings in general, not just women, but women will do it. Okay? That's her right there. Anyway, she has a lot to. I've never really seen a video of this girl talking. I've seen like traces and stuff like that. But yeah, that's them. But this is the actual couples of that show, Love and Marriage. These are the actual main cast of the show. They are actually the two. What you may call it? Marcel and Maurice, the guys in the blue suits on the back. They're actually blood brothers, right? And they're married, and they're still married to their girls. But Martell, the one in pink, and the lady in blue, they were married for years, and they are now divorced. And because you can give some of that credit to this side chick right here. This is what I mean by American Judy Austin. They are everywhere too. Listen, gentlemen, this is not me judging you for doing what you do. That's clearly wrong. I won't be the first to tell you that what you're doing is wrong. But my job is to point out the consequences of this type of behavior if it goes completely left for you. Okay, you might just end up having to nurse wahala for the rest of your life. The wahala can come in the form of a Judy Austin or what's her name, Arian Curry. So that's what we're talking about right now. So you can see Melody over here. She's responding. Okay. So I guess there's a report out there, some kind of report about potentially a sex tape between the ex-husband and the ex-wife, Martell and Melody, and somehow it ended up in the hands of Arian Curry. I think she might have been. I'm going to go through it right now. I'm just picking up like headlines. I'm going to go through it right now with you. I think she might have been shopping it around to try to hurt Melody, something like that, something to that effect. So I have this article here on sportskeeda.com. Here it says, Love and Marriage Huntsville star Melody Shari claps. Shari, she's not Melody Shari instead of Melody Hoots. Claps back at Arian Curry, that's the American Judy Austin, for claiming she possesses an intimate video of the real reality star. So she's claiming it. This was on July 6th. That was almost a month ago. So I'm just catching up because I haven't done a review on this in a minute. Okay. So she's claiming that she has. Let's see. Just close this. There we go. Follow along with me. Come with me. So this is, it says Love and Marriage. I don't want to blind you. I'll just read it to you, okay? 1 second. Let's go to it. All right. So I'm just going to read it to you, okay? Love and Marriage Huntsville star Melody Shari has been on the receiving end of Arian Curry's hate for a while now. Martell Holt, that's the ex-husband, Melody's ex-husband, was having an affair with Arian, who recently took to social media to make some claims about Melody Shari and Martell Holt. Arian claimed that she was in possession of an intimate video of Melody and Martell. Okay. Melody, while Melody usually takes the high road, she does. Now, Melody is passive aggressive from what I can see, but I guess she has the right to be passive aggressive. In terms of public outrage, I think, yeah, she tends to take the high road, I guess. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. Do you think Melody tends to take the high road? I want to know what you think. She recently decided that she had had enough, took to Instagram to clap back at the other woman. We'll call them the strange woman here. Okay. Melody Shari went live on Instagram on July 3rd to address the issue at hand and asked Arian to pull up. All right, and that's the video we're looking at here. The girls are fighting. Girls? That's how you spell that right now? Oh my God. Melody Hotel's ex-husband, Mistress Coleslaw, aka Arian. Anyway, let me see if I can play it from here. All right, let's play it from here. We'll do it from here. Let me just share the screen right now. Let's see. There you go.
Now that, okay, let's talk about some stuff that actually has a little bit of substance, okay? Secondly, girl, you're talking about I filed bankruptcy. Yes, sweetie, after your boyfriend filed. After he filed. So I didn't want everything to fall on me, not because I couldn't take care of everything. So let's get the facts straight. But I'm sure you have still continued to listen to all the lies that he gave. You know what? I finally understand why you was able to be a side chick for 5 years, because you dumb. That's why. I didn't know how slow you really were. But you've been calling me slow for years on Beyonce's internet right here. And I ain't said nothing. But now I understand how you've been able to be a side chick, how you was able to do that for 5 years. Because you really slow. And then he still ain't out with you. That is called slow. Get yourself some morals, get yourself some integrity, do yourself a heart check. And let me be clear, where's your daughter? Because you said you having family day with y'all 5 kids. I got 4 with them. You got 1 and then another child. Now
so she had another child with someone else. I didn't know that before. I thought she didn't have another child. Apparently she has another child with somebody else. Ladies, don't do this. Don't do what Melody is doing right now. Try not to. Okay, I know it's difficult. I know. I know. Sometimes you just want to, and sometimes you just run out of patience. If you did end up doing this, you're a normal human being, as I always say. But you need to try not to do it, because it doesn't really resolve anything. But she's asking a good question though. She said, a side chick for 5 years. Right? A side chick for 5 years. How can you manage to be a side chick for 5 years? How is that possible? Well, so many ways. People have different goals in life, right? But I'm sure you might have your own explanations for me. Let me know in the comment what you think. Why would a woman settle for being a side chick for 5 years? Right? A young lady like her, right? She's not bad looking, okay? Why would she settle for being a side chick for 5 years, right? Why would a normal human being settle? There's so many reasons, but I want to know what you think, right? Outside of your favorite names to call them, tell me what you think is going on through the mind of a person who settled to be a side chick. Is it because they were given the wrong impression by the guy? Was she waiting for a divorce someday, somehow, some way? Because after the divorce, he still didn't get with her. I think they continued to sleep together from all indications, but still did not choose or pick her, right? She's still not the chosen, right? And you can see this kind of stories everywhere. So ladies, tell me, what do you think is going on now? Fellas, you might have a different understanding. Please chime in, let me know what you think, right? Let me remove that baby from the screen, but let's continue. Let's go back to this right here.
Can't count either. I already know you don't know the difference between here and here, H-E-A-R and H-E-R-E. But you can't count either.
H-E-A-R-E. Hearing.
So,
wait, what?
Somebody said, please press charges. Girl, y'all know I'm already handling all of that. And then for you to say you aren't talking about me, girl, you still got a whole video of me with my then husband. For what? What you got that for? For what? See, that's slow too, baby girl. Matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest. If I was with a dude and he my man, and he got a video of him with another woman and trying to show it to me, send it to me, anything me, I would be like, do you still want her? Can you stop talking about her? Why are you sending me this video of you and her? Like, that don't make you think that, like, slow. So somebody said Mel got time all weekend this week. So since you said you can't pull up today, just know, baby girl, the doors are always open.
A pull up for what? To fight Melody? Why? What do you get from that? I don't understand. I'm not preaching. I don't care, honestly. I'm not preaching, but I'm just wondering for my audience, why would you wanna engage in any kind of physical altercation with a JUDY Austin or Ariana Curry? Can you explain that to me? Because, you know, why? What do you get from that, right? In the video, Melody seemed to address Curry. I'm just going to finish reading this. Address Curry and went on to question the latter's morals and integrity before asking her why she still had the video. So this is the video we're talking about, the video, alleged video of her being intimate with her ex-husband. It is true, that's kind of weird, you know, even if you insinuated it. The star also said that she understood why Curry was able to be Martell's side chick for a long time and attributed that to Curry's being slow. As mentioned earlier, Melody took to Instagram to clap back. Okay. The live segment was in response to Ariana claiming to be in possession of an intimate video of the former reality couple. Ariana went on to claim that she was asked to leak the tape by Martell and added that while she saw the tape, she was not willing to release it. Yeah, that's kind of weird to admit publicly. Listen, we all have things. I'm being honest with you, right? I'm not gonna cap here. We all have things that we do in our own privacy that we would never want to admit to that in public. So I think it's more weird to be able to admit to something like this in public than actually doing it. I don't know what you all do in your privacy, right? But being able to admit to this in public is obviously lack of social intelligence. I don't know what kind of benefit you're going to get from that. Outside of instant gratification, you might feel for a second that you're dragging a person that you don't really like. But you need to pay attention to your actions, the effect of your actions long term. Okay? In the short term, there's a lot of things you can do and enjoy and feel good about it, right? But feelings are temporary. Can you wake up tomorrow morning and feel the same about that action? What about 2 hours from now, right? Are you even willing to slow down, be patient, and assess that and ask yourself, will I be okay with this action 2 hours from now, right? And added that while she saw the tape, she was not willing to release it. Why would you want to admit ever in public to seeing the tape? That's weird. During her rant, Love and Marriage Huntsville cast member got candid about her feelings about Curry, who often refers to her as Bird. Listen, to not ever reference this person is difficult. I get it. Okay. During the live interaction, she first slammed the ex-girlfriend for commenting on her body Oh, she was commenting on her body. I bet she was body shaming too. And ask her to come up with things that have a little more substance. Melody then called her out for talking about the former filing of bankruptcy and noted that Martell was the one who did it first. She noted that she didn't want to get stuck taking care of everything. Anyway, that's Shalaye right there. Resist the urge to Shalaye. Try to resist the urge. Melody also slammed Curry for discussing the alleged sex tape in a YouTube video and wondered why she still had it. Right. So I guess this is a live session.
This girl, how you meet her?
How did I meet her? I'll let y'all know. I'm not gonna put that out just yet.
Okay, because I don't know. I remember you saying something about people you know being like connected with the show. First, it was like,
but it was never her. It was never her name. She's not.
Oh, because I was like, damn, she did mention something about this. Is this what she was talking about?
Nay, it's never her. She's never nobody who would be relevant.
Yeah, so evidently.
This is the ex-stripper, Nay. Do you hear?
Oh, she's an ex-stripper. Okay. So look.
You two talk about her and tell the Detroit people to reach out.
Yeah, I can't listen to that. My ears hurt. She added that if her man had shown her someone else's intimate video, she would have questioned him about it, and she still wanted the other woman. As mentioned earlier, the Love and Marriage star. Let me see again. I don't want to blind you with all this whinny. I'll just read it to you, okay? Yeah. So the Love and Marriage star repeatedly called Ariane slow and asked her to pull up to her house. Yeah, don't do that. It's not. You don't know what extent some people are willing to go. There's a case of this girl who actually put out a hit on her own ex-boyfriend because her boyfriend. If I have time, I'll cover that story for you. Because her boyfriend is jealous of this ex-boyfriend, and she put out a hit on 2 other girls. You never know to the extent of people's craziness. If you have a lot more to lose, make sure you're gauging everything you have to lose before you engage basketballs with the wrong people. Don't ask people to pull up. Why? Why? Because you want to feel tough? Don't do that. It's not worth it. Let them have it. You say, y'all got it. Just go. You don't have to say it out loud. Let them call you weak. Okay? Again, if you have nothing to lose, knock yourself out. But if you have a lot to lose, it's not necessary. So make sure you assess that first. Do I have a lot to lose? Do I care about everything else outside of this slow person? Then you have to move accordingly, right? She also said, but the reason why I'm saying that a lot of you get upset and you forget about everything else you have that you could lose. You know, anger is a temporary insanity. Effectively, it's insanity. You might lose everything before you come back from it. You never know. She also said that while she and Martell Oates aren't together, it isn't with Ariane either. Okay. Like, she's not with you too. Soon after that rant, she took to Instagram to explain it to those who may not have context via her stories, through her story. Now, keep in mind, we're talking about the possibility of an American Judy Austin here, right? Just keep that at the back of your mind. That's what we're talking about. Okay, let me see if there's more to this video. Let me see.
Here. And I ain't said nothing.
I ain't said nothing.
But now I understand how you been able to be a side chick, how you was able to do that. For you to say you aren't talking about me, girl, you still got a whole video of me with my then husband. For what? What you got that for? For what? See, that's slow too.
For what?
Matter of fact, I'm gonna be honest. Doors are always open. And
Pull
yes,
up.
I've already told my security that when they see you to pulling up, let you pull up. They got your picture. So, pull up.
Oh, pull up. I got security. That's what she was saying. Okay. All right. Anyway, Let me know what you're thinking as we're going through this in the chat below. I do have a couple of more videos about love and marriage Huntsville that I want to respond to. But I do think this young lady, what's her name? Ariane, blah, 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 Curry. I do think that people like her, they're everywhere in the world. They call Judy Austin in Nigeria. They don't know when to stop. Maybe they were caught up in a web of nonsense earlier on. They don't know when to stop. Unfortunately, you have to put Stella in that category. If you know you got caught up in a web of something that you did not bargain for, like, as soon as possible, disengage, right? Just say, hey, this is not what I bargained for, right? It's not what I bargained for. There's a report here that on 24sports.com says social media was hot this week, and this was published. So I'm a little late on this, but I'm just trying to put my own. Alright, so this was 4 weeks ago. Yeah, it doesn't matter. The lessons are the lessons. Social media was hot this week. Love and marriage Huntsville fans. Things have gotten mixed up in between lately. Melody and Martel, former lover and current off-screen girlfriend, reportedly Ariane Curry. Things have not gone well between Sherry and Curry for obvious reasons. Right. So now there's apparently some kind of revenge porn allegations. Everyone agrees that any woman who decides to have a serious relationship with Martell is putting her sanity on the line. Damn. That's tough on the brother. Jesus Christ. It's a lifetime indictment. The picture of the man should be in the dictionary next to the word infidelity. Oh, come on. He had a girlfriend. He had an affair for 5 years. That sounds more like he was looking for emotional fulfillment. Still wrong. But 5 years, a side chick, that one side chick, that sounds like, unless he says it's on and off. I think some people claim he has multiples, but this Curry girl is Judy Austin. Melody left Martell after his many infidelities. Okay, is it with multiple women? Somebody answer in the chat, please. Is it with multiples? After a brief reconciliation, it turned out that he had impregnated his lover, Ariane Curry. In 2020, Mel was done and officially filed for divorce. We know that part. Yep. But let me just read it, just for those of you that may be catching up for the first time. Mel was done and officially filed for divorce. In 2023, the two find themselves in the middle of a hostile custody battle. So they've been going back and forth with their custody battles. Rumors circulated that Martell threatened to release a sex tape they made while they were still married. Needless to say, a pathological liar, he denied these threats ever took place. Okay, so he denied it, but he also confirmed that they did indeed happen and said he sent a screenshot of the tape to Melody to stop her discussing him on social media. Now, let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, do you think it's realistic to ask a man to delete that video from his phone forever? Like, delete it, right? Is that a realistic outcome? It's realistic that he will never talk about it, that he will never admit to having such a video on his phone in public, and I think that's even weird enough. Again, social intelligence, right? So he should never admit. What tape? Like, all are you asking him to lie? I don't care what you say. It should be like, what tape are you talking about? Okay, what tape? No, what are you talking about? What happened? Why are you talking about tape from past years? That should be the anybody who has social intelligence will not put themselves in a place where they're even questioning if you ever have the tape at all. So he clearly lacks that to even insinuate remotely that he still has that tape, or admit that he took a screenshot to send it to her to threaten her. Martell, why are you doing this to yourself? He promises that he didn't threaten to release the footage, but that the footage does exist. That's just as stupid as actually doing it. And that he texted that he would release it if she doesn't stop what she's doing in their custody. That's not where your power is. If you're having a custody battle, your power is not in threatening the other person to stop. Your power is to learn the game and play it. Learn the game and play it in favor of the children. Okay? In favor of the children, learn how to play the game in favor of the children without hurting yourself in the process. So I'm not asking you to just accept everything just because of the children. No, you can't afford to hurt yourself in the process, because you need to be good for the children to be good. Okay? But there's a way you play the game. Okay? And you threatening and being manipulative and sending controlling pictures and stuff like that, or trying to get all that manipulation stuff, is not going to work. You need to come up with value. What is in it for her? You need to come up with value. Negotiations. You need to come up with a better way to negotiate what you're looking for in a way that everyone can be happy. That's difficult. Number one, that's easier said than done. You should know that as a grown man. That's going to be a process. That's going to take time, patience. Nothing should be new to you in everything I just said. And if everything I just said to you sound unfair, you're right. And you will continue. Let's see here.
Let the poor breathe.
You continue to collect if you don't learn the game fast. Okay?
Sorry.
You just continue to collect. You need to learn how the game works and make it work for you. You know, that's the only way out of it. Okay? You need to calm down. There's going to be multiple forces. People trying to call you a sip, trying to tell you you're slow. People trying to tell you, like, no, don't allow that, right? Work with your professional lawyers. Okay? Outline everything. Unless you're being physically tampered with, or somebody is physically tampered with. If it's all of these emotional games and legal games and stuff like that, it's going to take time. Learn the game. What is it that you want? What are the feasibility? What is possible? Is it possible that you're going to get what you want with respect to what is healthy for the babies? You know, think about the babies as the poor. What about them?
Let be poor breathe.
What about the babies? Are you considering all of that in all of this? Let the babies breathe. Right? On my show. So anyway, let me see here. Let me get rid of this. I'm gonna get rid of that. Needless to say, Path, okay, we already got through that. Arian admits, like Martell, he promises that he didn't threaten. Okay, what he didn't share is the fact that he had given the footage to his girlfriend Arian. Why? Why would you ever do that? In a recorded audio clip, Arian admits that Martell asked her to post a video of Melody performing a sexual act online. Arian goes on to say that she refused. I'm reading this from 24sports.com, by the way. She refused to do so, and that she was verbally abused when she tried to warn Melody. You tried to warn Melody. Why?
Stop the cap.
You tried to warn Melody. You're right. I don't believe that for a second. I don't believe that. You know. But you know, this is what the Judy Austins of this world do. They come up with all kind of crazy stuff. Bottom line is that it's all drama. It's the kind of drama that you don't, gentlemen, it's the kind of drama that you don't want in your life. I'm just letting you know. When you spread your energy all over the place, your resources all over the place, your kids all over the place, I know it's all fun and games. You don't want to be judged and all that, you know. But there's consequences.
Are you playing? What type of playing is this? This is playing. Why
There's consequences. Okay. Harion goes on to say that she refused to do so, because she was trying to be helpful. You're right. Let's say, so she was, she said, she tried to warn, but she was abused verbally. Melody didn't mind words when she went live to address the situation. She was essentially saying that Ariane was stupid to go by the words of a man who lies constantly. She also mentions the fact that Ariane was raising her children in the midst of argument with Martell. Melody threatened Ariane with opening a can of whoop, noting that she had done it before and would like to do it again, and encouraged Ariane to come to her. Yeah, don't do that. Shortly, the threats are being documented, as you can see. If anything happens to that girl, okay. Melody then posted a meme in which she kept singing "You're Going to Jail." She also began following Lisa Bloom, the famous attorney known for representing Janice Dinkins' case against Bill Cosby, and Misha Button in the revenge porn case. Other high-profile cases Lisa has been linked to. Oh, she's so dramatic too. Come on. Okay, R. Kelly, Black China. Oh my God. The real villain in this whole scenario is Martell. That's what they're saying. Melody does what she can to protect herself, while Ariane seems happy living a life as a concubine in the shadows. That sounds like a Judy Austin to me. A second wife. Well, that's not really allowed up around here. Given Martell's very public relationship with Cherie Whitfield, this war of words was prompted by Martell's desire to humiliate Melody while keeping his hands clean, but they are not clean. Martell, actions speak louder than words, and he's out here spreading a lot of lies on Beyonce's internet. Alright, none of this is fact. This is all alleged. I don't know nothing about those people. I'm just finding this as interesting as you are. Okay, but it also has a lot to do with relationships and marriage, and I thought we'll be able to talk about it. Now, there's a couple of videos I thought we should catch up on from the OWNS network. Let me find them. Let me see here. I closed it by mistake. All right, and just to catch up on some of the last episodes of the season. Okay, I think the season ended or halfway ended or something like that. But for as long as I continue to see potential lessons on this kind of stuff, I will bring them, and then we'll talk about it. Let me see here. All right, so there you go. Awesome. Okay. All right, let's do this. Okay, here we go.
Taking some time to chat with me. Hey, Caleb.
Hey, Mel.
Hey.
How are you?
Wonderful. How are you
Good to see
doing?
you.
Good to see you.
All right, so you can just listen.
Yes. Let me tell
because
you
of
something.
the
One thing for
copyright.
Sure that I see is you've been busy. Caleb has been my attorney since this whole messy divorce, to be honest. And now he's stepping in and helping me with this prolonged custody case. He's really trying to get everything resolved. So really, my kids and I, we can just move on with some normalcy without all of the extra. But I have no doubt that Caleb will take care of it and get it all handled.
How have you been?
I've been great, and I appreciate you too, taking some time to chat with me.
Of course.
So, I know that we talked about my name change. So that's a big thing, a decision I made, right? Mm-hmm. Is that I want to change my name from Holt, like remove Holt. When it comes to my businesses and branding, right? I've already started moving Holt out of that piece of it anyway. Mm-hmm. I just do Melody Cherie. I want to go back to my maiden name. Rogers is, the name that I did everything up till 22
and I've got that with
success.
a D,
with
right?
a D?
That's right.
So where are we with that? And how long does it take and all that good stuff?
And I'm glad you mentioned, it is kind of a tough decision. There's not really anybody that can object to you getting your name changed. One of the things I think that's going to hold you back is there is a requirement that you cannot be a party in any active court case in any jurisdiction in the United States or the world. So we're involved in a court case with Martell. So.
All right, so you can't change your name back. That's interesting to know. You can't change your name once you are involved in any active court case anywhere. She seems disappointed there. Interesting.
Child, so you mean to tell me Martell tried to control me when I was having his last name and he's still trying to control me when I'm trying to change the last name? Now this right, this is not it. I'm not happy about that.
I'm sure you're not. So, unfortunately.
I know I was surprised even some of the things in that case, being asked. I mean, I didn't, this is my first time dealing with a custody thing. So I was like, why does it phone records?
So why do you think they're going back and forth in this custody thing? Who is being vindictive here? Somebody's being vindictive. I'm curious to know, what do you think? Who is being vindictive in this situation? Is it Martell or Melody? Right? Now, I always tell, we talked about this teledamasa stuff here, right? Oftentimes with custody, you have a situation that potentially could be regarded as kidnapping. People want a fresh start. There's always one of the parties that want a fresh start when they go through a divorce. It's usually the time people want to engage their life purpose. You know what? That marriage didn't work out. Yeah, I lost myself. I need to build things back up, And oftentimes that may involve moving to another town, another state, across state lines. And then there's always a disagreement on who is taking care of the baby, who is in custody of the baby, who's watching over the baby. And if you have one of the partners that are very particular about who is watching the babies, or they have enemies in your camp, that will create a lot of complication. Now, when you had on top of that a person, at least one person who is vindictive, or a person who is petty in nature, right? Can you imagine just imagine all of this I just said. These are all emotions. They're all emotional based, right? And imagine mixing that all together. And then can you imagine the effect of that on the quality of your life? Right? Can you imagine that? I don't wish this on any of my enemies. I don't. Work on your relationships, okay? If it's purely emotional stuff from where you stand, work on yourself. Learn how to manage your stuff. You're not going to escape having to manage emotions for the rest of your life, period. There's no way around it. As long as you're dealing with human beings, you will have to manage emotions. So if that's all we are talking about, there are skills you can learn. Because I'm telling you, if you end up in this space where they're at and you end up with a petty person or a vindictive ex-spouse, I don't wish it on my enemy, even if they want to do the right thing, right? Everybody's going to be actively engaged in trying to be fair or asking for fairness, and the other person is like, but I'm being fair, but you're not being fair. But no, I'm being fair, but you're not being fair, right? It's a dramatic nonsense that you don't want to be involved with, right? Let's continue.
I feel like that was invasive. Why is your attorney asking for my phone records? I understand a little bit, I guess, bank statements.
They're asking for everything.
The person is able to take care of the children.
The scrutiny is beyond.
Yeah, because one of the questions they wanted to know that he had his attorney ask my passwords to my social media.
Never had a judge once force my client to turn over their password to their Facebook or Twitter or Instagram or anything.
And then also even anyone that I've met up with since the divorce in a romantic way. Why does that matter? That doesn't matter.
Because custody.
How are the things going?
Because custody. If there's suspicions that the babies are sitting with someone that wasn't approved or that makes the other parent feel unsafe, even if in reality it's just being petty, right? Even if that, as long as you can't prove, it's very hard to prove petty on paper because that's somebody's child involved. That's actually a father of 4 kids, right? So it's a very tough thing.
though with you and Martell?
You know, I know you've had to send him a letter and stuff in the past for him popping up at the house and all the excessive calls and all of that. That part has calmed down.
Okay.
Wow.
That makes me very happy.
That's good.
I guess.
So they've had to send him letters to calm down, popping up at the house and stuff like that. What do you think went down in his mind? Knowing the Martell that you know on TV. We don't know him like that. But just knowing the enough that you know on TV. How do you think that made him feel? Him getting a letter, cease and desist, don't come to the house, blah, 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 right? I think that's what they're saying, right? I hope so. What do you think that made him feel? Does that make him feel like, yeah, I'm going to be fair in court next time? Right? Does that help? Does that mean you shouldn't ask for your privacy? That's the point. The point is that those two questions are contradicting each other. The point is that it's a very difficult, it's much more difficult than learning how to do relationships if you end up with a normal human being, okay? If you're a normal human being in any type of collaborative efforts or space, you will have conflict. It's just gonna happen, right? Learning how to manage that is in your favor. It's in your best interest, okay? And it's it's gonna seem harder right now, but I promise you it's much easier than ending up in the divorce court in a custody battle. Does that mean that, because I know some of you are only going to hear the other side of the equation, so let me spell it out. It does not mean that sometimes you have to conclude that it's time to move on, okay? Because everyone's threshold is different. But I'm just bringing awareness to that. A lot of people are not aware that it's actually easier to work on a relationship, build a marriage long term, than to be in custody battles with years. Those short amount of years, 5 years or less, will take a chunk out of the quality of your life. Not only that, potentially put a stamp on you in terms of becoming a red flag for your future relationships. You have all of these resentments that you're actively building between each other. It will affect the children. So these are things to consider if you do have to make a decision. I completely understand. Sometimes you have to conclude at that decision. But a lot of people are not aware that the first thing you should do is not to run for the hills. You're not doing yourself a favor. A lot of people are being encouraged, directly or indirectly influenced to just up and run away from their own shadows. Like they actually practice this even outside of marriage. They run away from the next job. They run away from the next engagement. They don't know how to build on top of what is already presented to them. They don't know how to build on top of the cards they are being dealt, which is a blessing. In no matter what shape, form, or other that you want to look at it, right? Am I saying that's the case of Martell? I'm not saying that Martell and Melody. I'm just I'm painting the picture of what it looks like. Okay? All right, babe. All right. I'm painting a picture of what it looks like when you don't work on your relationship, when you don't want to communicate, when you tend to get shut down and just roll your eyes when it's time to have a little piece of communication so we can get on the same page. That's easier than being in custody court, because you'll be forced to listen to strangers or have a stranger mediate for you when you get into that space. It's sad. It's not a good thing for the children, especially. You guys are adults. I don't feel any sympathy or empathy for you, but the children, it's not nice. It's not nice.
Yes, unfortunately, we'll have to wait until the case is over.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
There are more ways to watch OWN now.
So they had to wait. So, by the way, if you're already in an ex-husband, ex-wife situation, right, the same thing is applicable. You're going to be in each other's lives for the rest of your lives. Sorry, there's no way around it. Okay? All right, so let's go ahead. I want to play... let's go into some of the other couples. Let's see if we can learn one or two things from the other couples. But the point today is that there's Judy Austin everywhere in the world. That's really the point today. And maybe I can bring you back up to speed with the Love and Marriage, Huntsville, and even Detroit. There's some clips I've been seeing from the Detroit one that I think we can learn a lot from as well. Let me know if you're interested in more from Love and Marriage, the franchise. Okay? All right.
I associate Anybody at this table's desire to be paid for this event as greed.
Well, babe.
Why would you say greed? Greed.
Hey, guys.
Because you're making money off the people that are supporting you. I think that's greedy.
We have to put our egos to the side. Wait.
Yeah, I don't think we care too much about this. Let me see. Yeah, there's not much in this. Let me see.
Package, then that's less money we got to spend now. No, we was thinking about with this money that's coming in, when we have small businesses that's presenting their company to us.
All right, so this is about the businesses that we're trying to do together, and they couldn't because a lot of people's personal relationships spilled over into business. Let's try this one.
Melody and I, we were going through things, with the kids and stuff like that.
That's
and
Martell,
Melody,
just in case you didn't know Martell.
In therapy, and the judge just saw it right for the father. Put the kids in therapy. We were going through things, with the kids and stuff like that. And Melody put the kids in therapy, and the judge just saw it right for the father to receive therapy as well.
Hey,
how are you?
Oh, so the judge said whenever a judge says receive therapy, they're not obligated to do that, right? They will suggest it, but they don't have to emphasize it, right? But if you are lucky enough to hear that when they actually said it and they didn't just go right over it, right? You're actually a very, very lucky person, because the judge is not designed to help you with your mental health or to help you navigate these emotional issues, starting with yours, right? So I actually think that's a good thing that he picked that up, because I don't think it's mandatory. I think it's only mandatory if there's been I think it becomes mandatory. Somebody correct me if I'm wrong. It becomes mandatory if they've linked that directly to potentially hurting the children. But they don't really force adults to do what's good for them. Okay, but let's continue. They will suggest it. Okay.
Oh, good.
How's it going?
Good to see you.
Good to see you as well. In the beginning, I was a little hesitant. I guess I always thought that I got it, But going to therapy, it gives you an outlet to be able to open up and be vulnerable without being judged, and know that I'm not being judged.
Yes, that is a big deal. Being able to open up without being judged, right? That is a big deal, because someone like Martell, if he feels judged, he will fight back. He's not gonna let that slide. Okay? He won't let that slide. If he feels judged, remotely judged, if he feels like you're picking the other side and you're not hearing him out, you might say, but as a grown man should not be like that. No, that's not true. We're all human beings. We have emotions. We're all like that to a certain extent. But some people are extreme. I believe, from what I've seen on screen with Martell, he's on the extreme end. He will get petty and he will drag your ass and everything along with it. If he feels judged, or he feels like, and he's a very smart guy. He knows what he's doing. But when he gets caught up in his emotions, all bets are off at that point. So he's right about that. He said he does without feeling judged. He's very particular about that. Let's continue.
And I feel that is helping a lot. Thank you for seeing me today.
Absolutely.
Or tonight.
Yeah, I know. I typically don't work this late.
I know, so I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So let's talk about your holistic wellness and balance. So
I'm
again,
off balance right now, though.
I'm so glad you admit that.
He admits it's off balance.
It's tough at times.
Yeah.
Like tonight. The babysitter kind of counseled on me last minute. I'm trying to rip and run and things of that nature. It gets challenging.
When situations don't go as planned, I want to know more about how you function. I know you can kind of ride the waves, but...
Not tonight. You should have saw me. Yeah, no. Tonight,
oh, wait.
I got mad.
So he showed up to therapy because there's been some kind of crisis. Okay? I'll be the first to admit, okay? Going to therapy randomly for no reason or counseling is not really my thing either. It's something I'm trying to get better at, okay? I've been better, more than the past years, of course. Sometimes I want to engage activities that are therapeutical in nature, right? Just nothing is happening, nothing negative, more like more like a maintenance type of therapy. You just go there to have a conversation about everything. What else is going on with you? Yeah, I have this. Oh yeah, that reminds me of this, right? While you're in the session, you're actually reminded of something and you're like, oh, that reminds me. As opposed to going there to solve issues. A lot of people go into therapy to go and solve existing issues. So all they are doing actively in that process is just trying to be defensive, or if they manage to drag their partner along with them, they're arguing. They're just arguing about who was right and who was wrong. And then they wonder why they had wasted money after a couple of hours. Because nothing was ever resolved. If anything, there's more resentment that has been built. Let's continue.
Bad at the babysitters. Yeah, because people are not doing what they say they're going to do. Supposed to be here at this time. You're not here. You know, some situations might get to me and I'm ready to cut somebody out, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love my mama to death, but...
So this is against his mom.
I want you to watch my children, and I give you this and I give you that. And then when I'm hesitant on giving it to you, it's because of you're not helping me out.
You said...
She's young. Mama is young, so we've once we had our second baby, we experienced the same thing. When I had my first, right? You know, he happens to also be the first grandchild. So I'll bring him over anytime, you know, they will even pick him up. They were so excited, right? After we had the second, when we had the second, we're talking about my mom's 69 now, so that's 15 years ago. 10 years ago, she was 59, 13 years ago. She was about 56 or so, right? So still body is a lot more agile and they can run around. But even at that point, they're like, we're still young. We have our own life, right? So in this scenario, your relationship building skills or relationship nurturing skills is going to be engaged as well. It's not just in marriage, right? How can you negotiate and get what you want while you're still bringing value to other people, right? Where is your power in all of this? Are you aware of what I just said? Like, these other people have their own lives. Yes, you did a lot for them. You bought this for them. You did it. But do you realize that, thank you, but I have my own life? Are you able to engage that? Because if you're not, you will create conflict and then you might even end up trying to manipulate your mother to like, but you know what I went through with Melody, and why would you do that to me, right? You're making things worse. The complications are real.
If you don't do what's expected, there's a little bit of tension on their side. Mm-hmm. And then if they don't do what you expect, there's a little, so it seems like it could be an unhealthy relationship.
I would definitely say so, yeah. And a healthy relationship is equal. It's almost like I know I gotta have your back and I know you're gonna have my back.
That's false. That's false. It's not that it's not equal, okay? It's that there's more to that story. He said a healthy relationship. This is one of the rhetorics that people are throwing around right there, and then they fall all the way in the mud when it happens. Yeah, healthy relationship is not necessarily equal. It feels equal on both sides. Feeling equal is different from it's equal, right? You feel like you're being taken care of. You feel like you're taking care of the other person equally. If they don't feel like they're being taken care of, yeah, it's not working.
Stop the cap.
It's not working. That's not equal. It's not about equality, right? And oftentimes when people complain that it's not equal, it's because they're only seeing things from their own perspectives. Get it? So when he said that, I picked that up. It's probably the reason why he's running into trouble. He's looking for equality, but he's not paying attention to the other person's perspective of what equality looks like. Let's see if we can get through a few more seconds.
And when it's one-sided, I mean, that's not cool. To be real, I know I've been selfish in the past, and it cost me dearly.
So he said, I've been selfish, but now he's actively asking for, in this case, the mother or Melody not to be selfish. But are you considering that your perspective of selfish might be different from the other person? If you're missing that out, your efforts are going to end up in the butter. Just always remember there are multiple, at least one more person involved. Their perspective, which is by default going to be different from yours oftentimes. But you get closer when you're able to calm down and say, you know what, the perspective is probably different from mine, you know. But yeah, I wanted to drop this really quickly today. Something for you to chime on, to chew on for the weekend. Okay, I will drop some videos over the weekend. Okay, so just look out for that. But what do you think? Do you want more review of Love and Marriage, Huntsville, and especially Detroit is running right now, I think. If you want more of it, I'll do more of it. But today was more so to remind you, like, listen, there's Judy Austin everywhere in the world, okay? There's Judy Austin everywhere in the world, okay? Just want you to know that, you know, and don't get it twisted. This is real life, okay? No matter what part of the world you're in, there's Judy Austin. This Ariel Curry is the same issues. Oh, but Americans never do something like Iro, Lori Iro. That is a lie. Okay, Americans have their own issues. They do. Okay, it is what it is. We're human beings. Okay, and let me see. Let me show this to you guys. Okay, this is Judy Austin, and this is this is the popular Martell holds in Nigeria right now. Okay. And then you also have Martell and Melody, okay, and but you also have Ariel Curry, okay, Ariel Curry, right, who is the Judy Austin, okay. In this case, Martell and they finalized the divorce, but the custody battles are just crazy, okay. Let me see. I'm going to make sure I show this picture for those of you that may not be familiar with the... Oh, Lord. This was shortly after... I think this was shortly after he broke off with his wife. This is a picture of Martell with Ariel Curry. Okay. They've got a few pictures out there, actually, I see. Okay. Yeah. And we've done some other reviews in the past of them. So this is Martell and his ex-wife, just in case you're wondering. But yeah, that's all I have for you today. Here's my question for you today, okay? With regards to the culture, okay, cultural differences. Many of you live in the Obodo Oyinbo. You live overseas. You're Nigerians, you live overseas. Many of you are Americans. You assumed that everybody is much more traditional in Africa and they don't deal with the same issues, okay? From what you've seen today here right now, do you still feel like there's some differences? If you feel like there's some differences, what are those differences in? And then tell me what are your thoughts around that, right? There are cultural differences when it comes to marriage, romance, relationship, modern day marriage, romance, and relationships. What are the cultural differences, and what are the cultural differences in your opinion that you think we should mitigate? That you feel like across the board, regardless of where you are in the world, this is a big problem right now in dating, in relationships, and marriage. What is the number one thing, regardless of what culture, right, that you feel like is something that we should pay attention? If you're a man, say it from a standpoint of a man or your own standpoint. If you're a woman, share that with me as well. All right, and if you like this video, I think you will like the one right here. Okay, this video, yeah. And don't forget to hit the like, subscribe, and share. All right, thank you so much. Hopefully you're enlightened, educated. I'll see you in the next one.